wonderful things that thou hast shared with us. We truly, Lord, in our hearts desire that you would come among us today and fellowship with us, dear Lord. And the great Holy Spirit that has been promised us would come and teach us and guide us into all thy truth. Let nothing be said, Lord, from these lips that is not of thee. Lord, may you guide my tongue, my lips today to speak forth only thy truth. We bless and thank you, Lord, for this great opportunity to come and to obey the word that said we should not forsake the assembling of ourselves together as the manner of some is. And so we come, Lord, with the desire in our hearts to hear thy truth, to have fellowship with thee. Because there's a joy in us, Lord, to hear and to have fellowship with each other and with the Holy Spirit. Take full control of this service, Lord, as we invite thy holy presence. May you be pleased to come among us today. Lord, we pray that you will hear every prayer, every heart, that you may stretch forth your hand today and meet those needs. Those that desire, Lord, to be filled with your Spirit, may you grant it today. We ask it in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, the Lord. In Jesus' name, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. what more can do. The sunshines of time, without the moon, another day is through. Someone slipped and fell, yes. Was that someone you made alone, or at its strength your courage to renew? But do not be disheartened, for I have news for you. It is no secret what God can do. That's right. What He's done for us. that frees my soul from sin. So come to this water. There is a vast supply. There is a river that never shall run dry. There's never been a day like this day to me. There's never been a day like this day that I can see. And there's never been a light that shines so bright as this day, this glorious day. Oh, no, there's never been a day like this day to me. There's never been a day like this day that I can see. And there's never been a light that shines so bright as this day, this glorious day. He's all I need, yes. He's all I need. Oh, Jesus is all I need. Oh, worship Him, saints. He's all I need. Yes. He's all I need. Yes. Jesus is all I need. Tell Him He's all you want. You're all I want. You're all I want. Jesus, you're all I want. Yes, you're all I want. You're all I want. Jesus, you're all I want. Hallelujah. He is here. Amen. He is here. Holy, holy, I will bless His name again. He is here. Just listen closely and hear Him calling out your name. For He is here, and you can touch Him you will never be the same. Thank you, Lord, for saving my soul. Let me thank you, my Lord, for making me whole. Thank you, Lord, for giving to me my great salvation, so full. Oh, I want to thank you, Lord, for saving my soul. Yes, thank you, Lord, for making me whole. Thank you, Lord, for giving to me thy great salvation, so full and free. Give thanks today with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. Let's give thanks, for He has given Jesus Christ, His Son. And now let the weak say I am strong, and the poor say I am rich, because of what our Lord has done for us. Let's give Him thanks. Amen. Let's thank Him today in the depths of our hearts and soul for what He has done for us. Hallelujah. One day we can turn into the melodies of praise to number 96. Blessed be God. We'll understand better by and by. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. We are often tossed and driven on the restless sea of time. Summer skies and early tempests tops us see the bright sunshine, and in that land of perfect day, when the mists have rolled away, we will understand better by and by. We are often destined Trials come on every hand, and we cannot understand all the ways that God would lead us to that blessed promised land. But He guides us with His eye, and we'll follow till we die. For we'll understand it better by and by. By and by, when the morning comes, when the strings of God are gathered home, we will tell of this story of how we overcome. For we'll understand it better by and by. Yes, it's temptation, sin and sneers, often keep us unawares, and our hearts are fit to be for many a thoughtless word urging me, and we wonder why the text when we try to do our best, but we'll understand it better by and by. Yes, it's coming a day. You'll understand all the sufferings, why we had to go through the trials and the testings. You know, we try to serve Him with all of our hearts and souls, but one day we'll understand it all. Number 98, I'm redeemed. Amen. Thank God I can stand here redeemed by His blood. I Blessed be God, his child, and forever. Amen. Number 99. God leads us along. That's right. Bible says the footsteps of a righteous man is ordered by the Lord. Amen. In shady green pastures, so rich and so sweet, God leads his dear children out, where the waters cool flow, it's the weary ones free. God leads his dear children alone. Some through the waters, some through the floods, and some through the fire, but all through God's love. Some through great sorrow, but God gives a song in the night season and for the day long. Sometimes on the mountains where the sun shines so bright, yes, God leads his dear children along. Sometimes down in the valley, in the darkness of night, God still leads his dear children along. Some through the waters and some through the flood, and some through the fire, but all through God's blood, yes. Some through great sorrow, but God gives a song in the night season and on the day long. Those sorrows because and Satan opposed, God leads his dear children Some through the waters, some through the flood, some through the fire, but all must come through that blood. Amen. So we want to thank God for that. His grace still extends to everyone. So thank you, Jesus. Greetings in the precious name of the Lord Jesus Christ. It's good to be here again in the house of the Lord and welcome you again to the presence of the Lord, and that we may come and worship in fullness and in truth. Amen. We'll be here again, Lord willing, on Wednesday evening, continuing our studies, having such a great time in the Word of God. Hallelujah. God is certainly just making known secret things, things that could not understand years gone by, but today is the day, amen, that He has chosen to make these things known. So what we have to do is just thank Him and follow along in His footsteps, amen. Greetings again in the precious name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Welcome you that are here into the house of the Lord. May we continue to worship Him in spirit and in truth. Today, we want to continue in where we left off last week. And, we're still on the subject of perplexity in the face of permitted evil. We're talking how we got to that place where Habakkuk and so forth came to be so frustrated in what he is doing. And, as always, we want to make sure that the Holy Spirit is on board and that we are guided by His Spirit and His love, because He has promised that's what He would do. So before further ado, shall we all must invite the Holy Spirit as we meet on Him. Holy Spirit, thou art welcome in this place. Holy Spirit, thou art welcome in this place. Omnipotent Lord. Show us thy truth. Let nothing be said that is not of thee, Lord. Stop the mouth of your servant, Lord, if it speaks anything contrary to thy truth. But only let the ears of the people, Lord, hear what thou hast to say unto them. Grant it today, I pray, Lord. May you come, Lord God, and direct our thoughts and our understanding in thy word that thou hast given unto us. We bless you and thank you for the privilege and this honor. In Jesus' precious name. Amen. The Lord bless you. You may be seated. Praise be to God. We are continuing in the book, of course, of Habakkuk, chapter 1, where we find out, according to the commentators and those that Dr. Schofield and those that wrote the commentaries and so forth in this King James version of the Bible, they felt that the prophet Habakkuk was prophesying in the latter years of the king Josiah. But according to the scriptures, not that I know any better of these men, because they were renowned Bible scholars, and I am not, praise the Lord. I am just a man that just depends on the Spirit of God to guide him through his word, because there is no one that can know this word better than God himself. Amen. And so I truly depend on him to lead me through his word. And so for me, in the days of Josiah, there was peace, because Josiah was the king that brought Israel back from worshiping idols and going against the things of God, but God had told them not to do. And this all stemmed from the King Solomon. Though he was a wise man, the wisest man of his day, and God had blessed him tremendously. This man had wealth that was beyond comparison with anyone else in the world at that time. Gold, he had so much that everything for this man was made out of gold. Even the cups that he drank from, the shields that his men had in the temple were made of gold. Everything was made of gold. Praise the Lord. God had blessed Solomon immensely. And Solomon served God for the greater part of his life. And of course, God had told Israel that they should not take wives of other nations, and neither let other nations take wives of them. Don't go in unto them, don't let them come in unto you. Praise the Lord. Brother Nell, would you just turn on it? You see it? Praise the Lord. All right. And he told them that, that should not happen. Simply because, not because it was interracial marriage. That is not what God was about. He simply did not want them to mix with other nations, because other nations had other gods. That was the crux of the matter. And he said as much. That when you go and you mix with them, they will turn you away from worshiping me. That was God's warning to Israel. He wanted them to stay just within themselves and with him. But as soon as we turn our backs from God, we get into trouble. When we think that we have a better understanding of what God is bringing forward and what He's saying to us through His prophets or through His servants, that, we get ourselves into trouble. Amen. But God had sent His prophets during those times to warn Israel. And had told the king. As a matter of fact, God had spoken to Solomon himself. Amen. And told him what He desired of him. And if he would continue to worship and to serve Him in spirit and in truth, that He would continue to bless him and would fulfill in him that which He had promised his father David. That there would not be left with a man of his tribe that is not upon the throne. This was God's promise to David. That he would always have someone from his descendants to sit upon the throne of Israel. That was God's promise. And so God was keeping that promise. But I need you to understand that this which Habakkuk is seeing, you can come up, brother. This which Habakkuk is seeing is not something that is isolated. This which Habakkuk is seeing is something that was over 300 years in the making. It did not just happen randomly. For God had already set in motion the things that Israel would have to go through if they disobeyed His word. And so the scripture tells us in the book of 1 Kings, chapter 9, we can start there. 1 Kings chapter 9. Bless God. And that's all the place we have to go back to see what Habakkuk is actually talking about. Because Habakkuk had a vision. God showed him what was going to happen to Israel. And Habakkuk was saying, God, why are you showing me all these things and you don't do anything about it? But we need to go back as far as 1 Kings chapter 9 to see how Israel developed into this condition. And it all started with a king that was beloved of God. Imagine that. Solomon, that God blessed tremendously above the peers of his day. God blessed him with wisdom and understanding. God blessed him with wealth and prosperity. God blessed him with worldwide peace. And Solomon hyped Christ. You understand that? And Solomon, just like he was in his day, so shall Christ come when he takes over the throne of his father David, that he will have peace throughout the world. He will have the wealth of the world at his command. He will also have the wisdom of his father. Amen. He will truly be the son of David. And Solomon, which typed Christ, exhibited these attributes. And so it says here in the book of 1 Kings chapter 9, from verse 1, and it came to pass when Solomon had finished building the house of the Lord and the king's house, and all Solomon's desire which he was pleased to do, that the Lord appeared to Solomon the second time, as he had appeared unto him at Gibeon. And the Lord said unto him, I have heard thy prayer and thy supplication, that thou hast made before me. I have hallowed this house, which thou hast built, to put my name there forever. That's the temple. He said, and mine eyes and mine heart shall be there perpetually. That means forever and forever. My name, my heart, my mind shall be there, God. Forever. But, he said, and if thou wilt walk before me, as David thy father walked, in integrity of heart and in uprightness, to do according to all that I have commanded thee, and will keep my statutes and my judgments. You see, God always gives conditions. We always feel that, God is a good God. This is what they all preach in their, the other denominations and so forth. Sad to say that is also a culture that is being perpetuated, among so-called message believers of this day. That God is a good God. That's all they preach. They don't understand that God is also a just God. So God told Solomon, if you will walk before me, as David your father walked, in the integrity of your heart, and in uprightness, to do according to all that I have commanded you, and if you will keep my statutes and my judgments, then I will establish the throne of thy kingdom upon Israel forever. But first you must follow what I say. You must obey my word. And then I will bless you. Hallelujah. He says, as I promised to David thy father, saying, there shall not fail thee a man upon the throne of Israel. I will always have somebody from your lineage, somebody from your ancestry, that will always sit upon this throne if you obey my voice and do all the things that I command you to do. Amen. Verse 6 says, but if you shall at all turn from following me, here's the other condition. Just like he did to Israel under Moses in the book of Deuteronomy. When Moses told them to come over to the land under conditions of a blessing and a curse. For he told Israel, I'm giving you this land. God had divided up the land among them. And he told him specifically which one goes where. He did not just put them in the land and said, anybody choose any place. God had divided up the land according to the gift that he gave to each one. Hallelujah. same in the church today.
Et c'est même genre dans l'église aujourd'hui.
That God has set the people under a gift according as he had done. Amen.
J'ai établi mon peuple en bas. Donc,
Hallelujah. And so he told Israel here under Solomon,
mais Dieu va parler avec Israël là en bas.
if you follow my statutes and my judgments, I'm going to bless you and your family. But if you turn from following me, you and your children, and will not keep my commandments and my statutes which I have set before you, but you go and serve other gods and worship them. You see that? It's always about them serving other gods. Not merely about marrying other nations. That wasn't God's thing. That wasn't what God was talking to them about. But it's because he knew that those people with those gods will overwhelm them and turn them away from serving. Hallelujah. So he said, I have set before you to go, keep my commands, my statutes, which I have set before you, but go and serve other gods and worship them. Then will I cut off Israel out of the land which I have given them. So God is telling them that even though I have given you this land, if you decide to go and serve other gods, I'm going to cut you off from this land. You see, when God gives a prediction or a prophecy or a command, I'm going to do this. Sometimes it can take hundreds of years for God's word to come to pass. Sometimes it comes to pass immediately. But God has a time and a place and a purpose for everything. So when God said, I'm going to do a certain thing, it may not be for right away. But God has an appointed time for everything that he says. So when he told Solomon that you and your children, if you decide to go against me, that I will cut off Israel from this land that I have given them. He said, and this house which I have hallowed for my name, of course, Solomon had just built the temple. And God had just told him, I will put my name there perpetually. He said, this house which I have hallowed for my name, I will cast it out of my sight, and Israel shall be a proverb and a byword among all people. That was what God said. That is why Israel is scattered today. But the day is coming when God will regather Israel into their homeland. I'm talking now about the true Israel. Hallelujah. When he will bring them back. Hallelujah. He said, I'm going to scatter them and they're going to become a proverb and a byword among all people. Now you have known from what I have told you and I have preached to you and showed you from the scriptures who that is really. Hallelujah. Yes. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Verse 8 says, and at this house which is high, everyone that passeth by it shall be astonished and shall hiss. And they shall say, why have the Lord done thus unto this land and to this house? It is still a wonder. It is still a wonder because Israel is still in the diaspora. Still scattered. People are still wondering why this wall is there, why this temple is not here. Because condition.
C'est parce que Dieu n'est pas en condition, il va
You
respecter.
obey me, this is your blessing.
C'est lorsqu'on obéit par le bon Dieu, mais c'est
You
ça veut
disobey me, this is your
Et
curse.
lorsqu'on désobéit, tout, c'est malédiction.
You choose.
Et donc, vous choisissez.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
God has given to us choice.
Dieu va nous choix.
He is no longer demanding anything of
Il
us,
va exiger ou bien demander rien. Non.
but He has placed before
Il
us
mettait des conditions éléments.
the privilege of
C'est
choice.
ça les privilèges pour choisir.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
So He told Israel,
Il a dit à Israël là,
He says now, and they shall answer because they forsook the Lord their God who brought forth their fathers out of the land of Egypt, and have taken hold upon other gods and have worshipped them and served them. Therefore hath the Lord brought upon them all this evil.
le fait qu'il a abandonné Dieu, ça qui est même grand-père retourné, c'est ça que fait Dieu. Oui, malédiction sur nous.
Thank you, Jesus.
Amen.
It says, and it came to pass at the end of 20 years, when Solomon had built the two houses, the house of the Lord and the king's house. Now Hiram the king of Tyre and had furnished Solomon with cedar trees and fir trees and with gold according to all his desire. That then King Solomon gave Hiram 20 cities in the land of Galilee. And Hiram came out from Tyre to see the cities which Solomon had given him, and they pleased him not. And he said, what cities are these which thou hast given me, my brother? And he called them the land of Kabul unto this day. Now, this is not the Kabul that is the capital of Afghanistan.
C'est pas capitale Afghanistan, le Kaboul là, non.
That's another Kabul.
L'autre,
But this is Kabul to the north of Galilee.
ça c'est nord de
Hallelujah.
Galilée.
That's a place in Galilee.
Son côté dans Galilée,
And
c'est le Kaboul.
if you can remember, I think it's in the book of Matthew where the scripture talks about Jesus going into Galilee of the Gentiles.
Si vous regardez dans Matthieu, côté la Bible parlait de Christ est allé en Galilée, la caille gentille.
This is that place.
C'est place ça même.
This is in Galilee, in Israel.
C'est en Israël.
And here we said, and Hiram came, and he called it Kabul unto this day. And Hiram went to the king, sent to the king 6 talents of gold. Let's go. Now I want to turn to chapter 10.
Dans le chapitre 10.
And it says, and when the queen of Sheba heard of the fame of Solomon concerning the name of the Lord, she came to prove him with hard questions. Now many times, in the old days I used to, or there's some of them probably are still around, the old movies that show that Queen of Sheba came out of Egypt.
Et toujours parler, notre ancien movie, on parlait des rois et reines Sheba sorti en Égypte.
How could that be?
Donc, on va demander comment ça fait.
How could she come out of Egypt?
Comment on est capable de faire sortir en Égypte?
It's an oxymoron.
Donc, il va faire sens.
She was the queen of Sheba,
C'est roi et reine Sheba qu'il dit.
not Egypt.
Il va dire en Égypte, la reine de Sheba.
This and Sheba was a place in Arabia, some place in Arabia by Yemen and those places.
C'est un côté en Arabie ou bien Yémen.
It was a country, a little country there.
C'était un petit pays qui était là.
She was the queen of a place called Sheba. How could she come out of Egypt?
Il était reine, on pouvait que les Sheba, comment on fait dire.
Doesn't make sense, does
Ça
it?
fait sens.
Then you get to understand because you feel that the queen of Sheba was her name.
Vous pensez reine Sheba, c'est non, c'est reine pour le
The
pays.
Bible never even told us what her name was.
Il va même dire comment dire.
Hallelujah. All the Bible tells us is where she was from.
La Bible dit
The queen
la reine
of
de
Sheba. Hallelujah. But of course, many of these things that they brainwashed us with when we were coming up as young people and so forth, they showed you all these people that that came out of Egypt and so forth, and how they were, and so on, and they tend to make you believe everything around us was like that.
C'est comme ça.
When it wasn't so.
C'est pas comme ça.
So the Bible tells us She came to prove Solomon with hard questions. And she said here in verse 6, she said to the king, verse 6, it was a true report that I heard in mine own land of thy acts and of thy wisdom. Howbeit I believed not the words until I came and mine eyes have seen it. And behold, that half was not told me. Thy wisdom and prosperity exceeded the fame which I heard. Happy are thy men, happy are these thy servants, which stand continually before thee, and that hear thy wisdom. Blessed be the Lord thy God, which delighteth in thee to set thee on the throne of Israel, because the Lord loved Israel forever. Therefore made he thee king to do judgments and justice. And verse 23 says, so King Solomon exceeded all the kings of the earth for riches and for wisdom. And all the earth sought to Solomon to hear his wisdom, which God had put in his heart. For chapter 11, I'm setting up this scenario to let you understand how Solomon was before God. How he built his own house. Furnished it with gold. Built a house for the Lord. Furnished that with gold. And he dedicated the place unto the Lord. And God told him, I'm going to put my name there. Perpetually. Hallelujah. But chapter 11 says, but King Solomon loved many strange women. This was Solomon's downfall. It's not that he loved the women, but he loved strange women. If he had loved the women of Israel, what's the problem? Because they all believe the same God. You understand? But because he looked at the women that he loved, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, this is one woman from Egypt, women of the Moabites, their enemies, Ammonites, of course, the Moabites and the Ammonites are first cousins. And they're also brothers. Because the Moabites and the Ammonites are brothers from the same father. This was from Lot and his two daughters. Amen. So the Moabites and the Ammonites, he took wives from the Edomites. Of course, the Edomites is from Esau. He took wives from the Zidonians and the Hittites. The Bible says, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, you shall not go in to them, neither shall they come in unto you. God had already told them they knew this. And here is Solomon, the fountain of wisdom. Yet, he chose to disobey God in his latter years. The Bible says, God told him, you shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you. For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave. In other words, he hung on to these in love. In that what always happens? Then we run to go to a place where we don't, where God told us that we should not fall in love. Sometimes, the ones that we chose either lead us away from God,
c'est lui-même qui retire nous dans le chemin.
or you bring them into the fold of God.
Ils mènent dans
It can go either way. But God told us. That's why Brother Paul said you should not be unequally yoked together with unbelievers. Hallelujah. It's a dangerous thing. Not that it doesn't work out sometimes. But he's saying on the other side that they're going to turn you away. Because you're playing to this flesh. And if you're truly in love with them, they're going to draw you away from serving God. When you want to go to church, they want to go to party. And of course, that's where the conflict will come. And if you're truly attached in love, you will want to please them. Amen. It may work out. Most times it doesn't. This is why God had warned them. Don't marry those other people. You understand, saints? I need you to get this down pat. Because you're going to hear others telling you differently about interracial marriage and all this type of nonsense. When God never said anything about it. It was not about interracial marriage, it was because they served other gods. Hallelujah. God, because Moses and them, when they went to one place in the city, they would kill all the men, took the women, and had children by them. What does that mean? But they, you see, were controlling that because they brought the women into their village. So you had a lot of intermarriages during those days. But here, Solomon loved these women so much. Hear what the scripture says. Solomon claimed to these in love. And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines. And his wives turned away his heart. Because he loved them. They turned away his heart, the Bible says, and it came to pass when Solomon was old that his wives turned away his heart after other gods. And his heart was not perfect with the Lord his God, as was the heart of David his father. Watch. For Solomon went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians. Started to go and worship. Ashtoreth left his God that had supplied him with everything that he had in his life. He went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians, worshipping a woman in that. And after he went after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites, and Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord. And he went not fully after the Lord as did David his father. Then did Solomon build an high place for Chemosh, the abomination of Moab, in the hill that is before Jerusalem. And for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon. And likewise did he for all his strange wives, which burnt incense and sacrifice unto their gods. So when the time, if you notice, this started with Solomon. That Israel went after these strange gods. So that when it came to the time of Habakkuk,
Donc lorsque qu'on y a Habakkuk venu,
the condition was set.
avait dit il y a des conditions pour Israël.
The time was coming on right for judgment.
Ça veut dire temps déjà arrivé pour le jugement prendre place.
So God told Solomon this. Hallelujah.
Dieu a dit Salomon.
And the Bible says in verse 9,
Verset 9.
and the Lord was angry with Solomon because his heart was turned from the Lord God of Israel,
Il va le fâcher qu'on a Salomon parce qu'il virait de le balai.
which had appeared unto him twice,
Dieu qui parlait devant Salomon 2 fois déjà.
and had commanded him concerning this thing, that he should not go after other gods, but he kept not that which the Lord commanded.
Dieu a dit pour parler à la nourriture, mais malgré tout l'aller là.
So here was a condition that was already being established,
Les conditions déjà établies là.
so that when it came to the time of Habakkuk,
Donc lorsqu'il y a Habakkuk venu pour nous,
Israel was already steeped in idolatry
Israël est entré en profondeur dans
and doing all manner of
il a
wickedness
fait toute méchanceté que tu as gagnée.
that God had warned them
Et
against.
Dieu était déjà dit au non.
Verse 11 says, wherefore the Lord said unto Solomon, for as much as this is done of thee, and thou hast not kept my covenant and my statutes which I have commanded thee, I will surely rend the kingdom from thee and will give it to thy servant.
Et Dieu dit, mais le fait qu'on va respecter l'ordonnancement, on va faire serviteur.
Did not God promise Solomon
Est-ce que Dieu va promettre Salomon
that if he stayed with him,
si qu'il était avec lui,
this house that you build,
ça
I will put my name there perpetually,
Dieu dit, il va mettre non sous comme ça pour tout le temps.
and your children will continue to worship
Et Timon
and to sit upon this throne.
sous trône ça.
But now God had told him, if you did not do what I told
Et
you,
puis qu'on y a dit, mais sous pas faire
I'm going to take the kingdom from you. Did not God warn him that?
Est-ce que Dieu va la mettre?
And now the time comes, God is telling him that he's going to fulfill that promise because Solomon turned away from
Le
God.
fait qu'il lui le dire, mais Dieu n'est pas capable d'accomplir promesse là.
So God is saying in verse 11, wherefore the Lord said unto Solomon, for as much as this is done of thee, and thou hast not kept my covenant and my statutes, which I have commanded thee, I will surely rend the kingdom from thee, and will give it to your servant. God had told David,
Dieu était déjà dit David,
someone from your
il y
lineage
a un monde qui va sortir dans
will always be sitting upon this throne.
sous trône.
If you obey.
Si on va obéir parole.
He told Solomon the same,
Dieu a dit Salomon, même bagarre.
that somebody from your lineage will always sit upon
Toujours
this throne.
descendance qui va chita sous
Now,
parole.
they have disobeyed God.
Mais qu'on y a le fait qu'ils désobéissent.
God is now going to breach his
Mais
promise
Dieu est obligé par respecter l'accord qu'il devait avec eux.
because they failed to keep their word.
Parce que même pas qu'aimer parole mon Dieu.
God will not keep
Mais
his.
Dieu dit moi-même tout pas qu'aimer parole.
Hallelujah. And so God is saying, he said, I'm going to take it away and I'm going to give it to your servant. Not your servant. Hallelujah. You see?
That's what.
I'm going to take it away and I'm going to give it to your servant. I'm not a Jew, but not probably the lineage of Solomon. You understand? So here God says, he says, notwithstanding, in thy days I will not do it for David my father, and for David thy father's sake. I'm going to do it while you're alive. Because I promised David. Because I promised David that this will not happen. But while you're alive, he says, but I will rend it out of the hand of thy son. I'm going to take it away from your son. Watch how God does this. Howbeit, I will not rend away all the kingdom. I'm not going to take away the whole thing. But will give one tribe to thy son for David my servant's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, which I have chosen. God is telling Solomon, don't take away Israel from you. But not the whole thing. I'm going to keep one tribe and let your son rule that one tribe. Just to keep my commitment to David, your father. You understand? But the rest of it will go away from your descendants. Are you following so far? Watch. Now watch what he says here. He says, and the Lord stirred up an adversary unto Solomon, Hadad the Edomite. He was of the king's seed in Edom. You see? So an Edomite got from one of the places because David had gone down to Edom and had slaughtered all the males of Edom. See? Now, you want to know why there's in Lebanon and this place is Damascus and Syria, why they are so against the very thought of Israel. I mean, they know who the true Israel is, but this has been an animosity against Israel since the time of Solomon because of what David did. You see, David had gone down to Edom and these other cities around. And David had killed all the male children and all the males of those cities. Kill all of the men. They kept the women. Watch. The Lord stirred up an adversary unto Solomon, Hadad the Edomite. He was of the king's seed in Edom. How did this one escape? Because here is a male of the king's seed, one of the king's lineage from the Edomites, that escaped David. Though God made David go and destroy all the Edomite men, and the cities round about, one escaped. With a couple of others escaped. And here's what the scripture tells us. Watch. For it came to pass, when David was in Edom, and Joab, the captain of the host, was gone up to bury the slain, after he had smitten every male in Edom. Right? For 6 months did Joab remain there with all Israel, until he had cut off every male in Edom. That Hadad fled, he and certain Edomites of his father's servants, with him to go into Egypt, Hadad being yet a little child. So some of his father's servants took one of the king's sons by the name of Hadad, an Edomite, and they fled to Egypt. When David went down there to slaughter all the males, all the males. You understand? So while they were killing and they stayed there for 6 months to make sure that they had killed every male of the Edomites. But these servants escaped with this child Hadad and went down to Egypt. You understand? So watch what happened now. And he was yet a little child. And they arose out of Midian and came to Paran. And they took men with them out of Paran, and they came to Egypt unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, which gave him a house, and appointed him victuals, and gave him land. Now, they stayed down in Midian a while until they grown up. And so forth, and they got a little bit of an army and followers and so forth with them. And then they went across the river to Egypt. And the Bible says, and Hadad found great favor in the sight of Pharaoh. Of course, Pharaoh gave him house and gave him land. And Pharaoh just loved the guy. He just loved Hadad. And so Pharaoh gave him land, gave him house, gave him servants. He even gave him a wife, for he gave him his sister-in-law. Here what the scripture says. Had found great favor in the sight of Pharaoh, so that he gave him a wife, gave him to wife the sister of his own wife, the sister of Taphanes, the queen. And the sister of Taphanes bare him Sanuba, his son, whom Taphanes weaned in Pharaoh's house. Good. His sister now raised up the child. And Jenuba was in Pharaoh's household among the sons of Pharaoh. So it shows how much love Pharaoh had for Hadad. That he even raised the man's children among his own. You understand? Now remember, these were Ammonites. Hallelujah. Glory be to God. Hallelujah. Not Ammonites, Edomites, sorry. These were Edomites. And they are growing up in Egypt. Hear what the scripture says. And when Hadad heard in Egypt that David slept with his fathers, because that was his father's enemy, David was. Hallelujah. So he always kept hearing, they always keep in contact, wanting to know what is going to happen. What's happening with the land and so forth, because David had conquered their land of Edom. So the Bible says, while he is in Egypt, he heard that David died. And that Joab, the captain of the host, was dead. The same man that was down there in Edom, that stayed there 6 months to make sure that every male child was killed. So Joab and David was dead. He heard this down there. The Bible says, Hadad said to Pharaoh, let me depart that I may go to my own country. The two men that were there to kill all my ancestors are dead. I want to go back. Oh my. He saw the opportunity to raise up back. The city or the land or the kingdom of the Edomites. See? So he was going to replenish the Edomite country. So he's telling Pharaoh, I want to go back home. Let me go back to my own land. But Pharaoh really loved the guy, Pharaoh said. Then Pharaoh said unto him, but what hast thou lacked with me? That behold, thou seekest to go to thine own country. What will you want? What is it that you're missing? That you didn't get with me? Why you want to go back to that land? And so Hadad says, he said, nothing. He said, nevertheless, let me go back. I want to go back. Then you're really from place, no matter where you go. Home is always home. Amen. Home is always home. Bless God, where their heart is. Now watch. He said nothing. Howbeit, let me go in any wise. I just want to go. Here were the scriptures. And God stirred him up another adversary. Of course, when you read that, it seems as though God stirred up an enemy against Hadad. But if you go back in the scripture, you understand that this other enemy was against Solomon. Was really against Solomon, not against Hadad. You see? So when the scripture says, and God stirred him up another adversary, it was an adversary against Solomon. And Rezon, the son of Eliada, which fled from his lord Hadadezer, king of Zobah, which is one of the places that David had conquered also, and destroyed all the males. They had run away too. And now these men have grown up, these children have grown up. And now, the Bible says now they want to go back and take revenge. So the scripture says, God stir up these men now against Solomon. And these men are gathering armies. The scripture says in verse 24, and he gathered men unto him and became captain over a band. Then David slew them of Zobah, and they went to Damascus and dwelt therein and reigned in Damascus. You see? You understand now where the animosity came against Israel? Because David had slaughtered them. You understand? These men escaped, grew up, raised up a family, got themselves an army, and now they went to Damascus, got there and became powerful. Amen. They reigned in Damascus. And he was an adversary to Israel all the days of Solomon. Beside the mischief that Hadad did. And he abhorred Israel and reigned over Syria. So now you understand why the Syrian government at that day was coming against Israel to conquer them. Because there was this animosity from years back, which David did. You understand? So now David's son Solomon, that is sitting upon the throne, the day that he decided to turn his back on God, the God that gave power unto his father, that God decided to say, I will take away this throne from you, and I will give it to your servant. You understand? And so, to make that happen, God said, I'm not going to do it in your day when you were alive. But I'm going to take this throne from your son. Understand? Praise God.
Amen.
Hallelujah. I just love this. Now watch. So the Bible says, Jeroboam was another Jew, but not of the king's lineage. Jeroboam was a servant of Solomon. Did not God tell Solomon, I will take it and give it to your servant? Watch. So Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, the Ephrathite, he was of the lineage of Ephraim. Right? And Ephraim was a Jew. Alright? He was an Israelite. An Ephrathite of Zariah, Solomon's servant, whose mother's name was Zeruiah. A widow woman, even he lifted up his hand against Solomon, the king. Why did he do that? They're just telling what he did, but later on now they're going to come and explain why. Because God had told Solomon, I will take this from you. Not from you, but from your son. And I'm going to give it to your servant. So now, God has chosen Jeroboam to give the kingdom of Israel to him. Watch what God says now in verse 27. And this was the cause that he lifted up his hand against the king. Solomon built Millo and repaired the breaches of the city of David his father. And the man Jeroboam was a mighty man of valor. Now what this scripture is doing now is giving you the background, how this came about, how he came to lift up his hand against Solomon. You understand? So he said, and the man Jeroboam was a mighty man of valor. And Solomon, seeing the young man that he was industrious, he made him ruler over all the charge of the house of Joseph. So Solomon made Jeroboam a ruler over the things of the charge of Joseph. People, right? And it came to pass at that time when Jeroboam went out of Jerusalem that the prophet Ahijah, the Shilonite, This is not Elijah. This is Ahijah, the Shilonite. Found him in the way, and he had clad himself with a new garment, and the two were alone in the field. Now, Jeroboam had put on new clothes, and he went out into the field. And the prophet met him out there. The two of them were alone. And the Bible says, and Ahijah caught the new garment that was on him and rent it in 12 pieces. Ahijah the prophet just took the clothes off of Jeroboam, tore it up in 12 pieces. Watch the prophecy of God coming through. He says, and he said to Jeroboam, take thee 10 pieces, for thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, behold, I will rend the kingdom out of the hand of Solomon, and will give 10 tribes to thee. God had promised David there would not be a child of his that is not there. So God is dividing up this kingdom, splitting Israel into two camps, Israel and Judah. So God sent the prophet to meet with Jeroboam and took the garment and divided up in 12 pieces and said, look, I'm giving you 10. 10 pieces. But thus said the Lord, I will take away this kingdom from his sons. But remember, God told him, I'm not going to do it while you're alive. I'm going to take it from your son. Isn't that right? And God also told him, I'm not going to take the whole thing, but I'm going to leave one tribe with your son, just so I can fulfill my promise to David your father. Isn't that right? So that lineage would still be, there would still be a connection there. You understand? Of David in the throne. Are you following me? Yes. Watch. This is what he says now. And the scripture says now. But he said, but he shall have one. And he said to Jeroboam, take thee 10 pieces, for thus saith the Lord God of Israel, but I will rend the kingdom out of the hand of Solomon, and will give 10 tribes to thee. But he shall have one tribe for my servant David's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, the city which I have chosen out of all the tribes of Israel. That's God's city. Jerusalem. God said, I put my name there. Remember when we were talking earlier a few weeks ago and saying how this man came up and was blaspheming against God, telling Israel, what he's not going to do to the city. Come on out. Don't let Hezekiah tell you that your God is going to save you. Remember that?
Where's the other tribute? It's supposed to be 12 tribes.
Yes.
And 10 given to Jeroboam, one stay under the David's lineage, and then the other one is
the other one is just sitting there. Okay. He didn't put them in, we just left them there. I think that was Judah.
Because it's Judah.
But we'll see. Watch what the scripture says. He said, I have chosen out of all the tribes of Israel, because that they have forsaken me, and have worshipped Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians, Chemosh, the god of the Moabites, and Milcom, the god of the children of Ammon, and have not walked in my ways to do that which is right in mine eyes, and to keep my statutes and my judgments, as did David his father. See? God divided them up and taken away. So of course, Jeroboam, being a servant of Solomon.
Jéroboam était un serviteur de Salomon.
When God had told Solomon that he's going to take the kingdom away from him and give it to us.
Parce que Dieu dit Salomon prend royaume et va y a serviteur.
And now God has chosen Jeroboam
Dieu va choisir Jéroboam
to make him king
pour faire le noir.
over 10 tribes of Israel.
Distribuer dans Israël.
But hear what the scripture says, verse 34. Howbeit, God says, however, I will not take the whole kingdom out of his hand, but I will make him prince all the days of his life for David my servant's sake. That's what God telling Solomon. And I'm going to take it away from him right now. I'm going to let him stay a prince all the days of his life because I promised him. Amen. See? Whom I chose because he kept my commandments and my statutes. But I will take the kingdom out of his son's hand, out of Solomon's son's hand. I'm going to take it away from him. And I will give it unto thee, even 10 tribes. And unto his son will I give 1 tribe, that David my servant may have a light always before me in Jerusalem. See that? The city which I have chosen me to put my name there. God wanted to keep that connection between him and David. That promise. You understand? So he said, I will leave one tribe with his son. But the 10 I'm going to give to you. You know what he said? He said, and I will take thee, and thou shalt reign according to all that thy soul desireth, and shalt be king over Israel. God said, I ain't giving you any instructions. You do as you please. This is what God told Jeroboam. God told Jeroboam, you will rule Israel any way you please. I ain't got no restrictions. Do whatever you want. Whatever your heart desires, you do. Do it to Israel. Hear what he says. You will be king. He said, and shall be, if thou wilt hearken unto all that I command thee, and will walk in my ways. God saying, you'll do whatever you want. But if you do what I tell you, you understand? If you do whatever I tell you, and do that is right in my sight, to keep my statutes and my commandments, as David my servant did, that I will be with thee, and build thee a sure house, as I built for David, and will give Israel unto thee. As I will give you all. I'm going to do the same for you like I did for David myself. If you will be. You understand? So he says no. He says, and I will for this afflict the seed of David, but not forever. Oh my. Can you imagine if he said forever, what would have happened? It means Jesus Christ wouldn't come now. Amen. Jesus would not have been able to come because Jesus came of the lineage of David. Amen. And if God had promised to afflict all David's lineage, then Jesus Christ would have been afflicted. He would not be able to sit upon the throne of his father. You understand? So here God is saying, I will not do it forever. Solomon sought therefore to kill Jeroboam. He tried to stop God's plan. God told him to take away your kingdom, give it to his servant. He knew who that servant was. So he tried to kill Jeroboam. He tried to kill him to stop God's plan from coming into fruition. Hallelujah. Blessed be the name of the Lord. He said, and Solomon sought therefore to kill Jeroboam, and Jeroboam arose and fled into Egypt unto Shishak, king of Egypt, and was in Egypt until the death of Solomon. See, in the first place, these Israelites run. Every time somebody was in trouble, run down to Egypt. Right down in Egypt. Oh my God. This is so clear. Amen. Now, so after Solomon died, the Bible said, and then verse 43 says, and Solomon slept with his fathers, and was buried in the city of David his father, and Rehoboam his son reigned in his stead. So Solomon's son was Rehoboam. Solomon's servant was Jeroboam. You understand? So Jeroboam was the servant of Solomon, Rehoboam was the son of Solomon. You understand? So this was the son, Rehoboam, who had one tribe. That God said, I will give his son one tribe, just to keep that connection. That was the Rehoboam. The Bible said, when Rehoboam became king, the Bible says, chapter 12, and Rehoboam went to Shechem, for all Israel were come to Shechem to make him king, because of course, his father Solomon had died. So automatically, he would become king. You understand? So all Israel came down now to make Israel king, to make Rehoboam king. But before Solomon died, he had started to oppress the people very much. Because he had them building all these, making all these sacrifices and so forth, building all these gods. And he taxed the people so much, oppressed them so much in his latter days. That the people was under tremendous burden and distress. So when Rehoboam became king, the Bible says in verse 2 of chapter 12, it came to pass when Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who was yet in Egypt, heard of it, for he was fled from the presence of King Solomon, and Jeroboam dwelt in Egypt. Now he heard that Solomon is dead, and that Rehoboam was about to become king. He was down in Egypt. Verse 3 said, they sent and called him Israel. My God. Israel sent and called Jeroboam. Why would they do that? Because this was what God had promised would happen. Amen. Watch, God did not. They didn't send to call him to make him king yet, but because Rehoboam was in line to become king. But watch what took place. So they sent and called him. And all the congregation of Israel came and spake unto Rehoboam, saying, thy father made our yoke grievous. Now therefore make thou the grievous service of thy father, and his heavy yoke which he hath put upon us, make it lighter, and we will serve him. And he said unto them, okay, y'all go, depart for 3 days, and then come again to me, and the people departed, the Bible says. So the people brought this petition to King Rehoboam. And they said, no, your father put a lot of pressure on us. And that was Solomon. He said, no, what we ask is, all we ask is that you make our burden lighter, and we will serve you. So Rehoboam said, okay, y'all go, come back after 3 days. While I think about this. So the Bible says, Rehoboam, verse 5, said, he said unto them, departed for 3 days, and then come again to me, and the people departed. And King Rehoboam consulted with the old men that stood before Solomon his father while he yet lived. And he said, how do you advise that I may answer this people? So he's consulting with his father's advisors, the men of wisdom that advise Solomon. And he said, what do you think I should do about this request? And they spake unto him, saying, if thou wilt be a servant unto this people this day, and wilt serve them, and answer them, and speak good words to them, then they will be thy servants forever. But he forsook the counsel of the old men, which they had given him, and consulted with the young men that were grown up with him, and which stood before him.
Mais malgré tout, il va porter conseil, ancien Obadi, pour
he ignored the wisdom of the men that Solomon, that used to advise Solomon. And now he consulted with his friends. Them boys that grew up with him, you know. What y'all think? Dismiss what them old men say. But what y'all think? Yeah, tell me what y'all think. How we should handle these people. And they spake unto him, saying, if there would be a servant, no, sorry. Verse 9. And he said unto them, what counsel give ye that we may answer this people, who have spoken to me, saying, make the yoke which thy father did put upon us lighter. And the young men that were grown up with him spake unto him, saying, thus shalt thou speak unto this people that spake unto thee, saying, thy father made our yoke heavy, but make thou it lighter for us. This is how you're going to answer them. My little finger shall be thicker than my father's loins. And now, whereas my father did have laid you with heavy yoke, I will add to your yoke. My father had chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scorpions. That's what the young man telling him. So Jeroboam and all the people came to Rehoboam the third day, as the king had appointed, saying, come to me again the third day. And the king answered the people roughly, and forsook the old men's counsel that they gave him, and spake to them after the counsel of the young men, saying, my father made your yoke heavy, and I will add to your yoke. My father also chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scorpions. Therefore the king hearkened not unto the people, for the cause was from the Lord, that he might perform his saying, which the Lord spake by Ahijah the Shilonite unto Jeroboam the son of Levi. You see why God loved that? To bring his word to pass, so that he will take the kingdom from Solomon's son. Oh, glory! Hallelujah! God was setting it up. That's why he allowed him to ignore the counsel of the wise men. Listen to his friend. To get Israel now to rise up against their own king. See that? Oh my. Let me just finish this piece off. So when all Israel saw that the king hearkened not unto them, the people answered the king, saying, what portion have we in David? What benefit we got from David? Neither have we inheritance in the son of Jesse. To your tents, O Israel. Let's go back to Israel. Now see to thine own house, David. So Israel departed unto their tents. But as for the children of Israel which dwelt in the cities of Judah, Rehoboam reigned over them. See? In the cities of Judah. Remember we showed you about the cities of Judah where Sennacherib came to take Judah. Now Judah is not Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a part of Judah, the capital of Judah. You understand? Because there are different cities in Judah. You understand? So when you're saying Judah, you're talking about a bunch of cities. You understand? A little, like a little nation of itself. So the scripture says, Israel rebelled against the house of David, against, verse 17. But as for the children of Israel, which dwelt in the cities of Judah, Rehoboam reigned over them. Then King Rehoboam sent Aloram, who was over the tribute. In other words, the man who was collect the taxes. He just chased the people away. Say, I'm going to make your burdens heavier. I'm going to chastise you. Just send them away. Then he said it on the tax collector. You sending somebody out to collect money from us, and you just chase us and say you're going to make things hard for us. You understand the situation here? Now watch what happened. Said, the king Rehoboam sent Adoram, who was over the tribute, and all Israel stoned him with stones that he did. Yes, of course. You just chased us away. You will make our lives more miserable. And now you're sending somebody to collect money. The Bible says they stole him, that he died. Therefore, King Rehoboam made speed to get up to his chariot and to flee to Jerusalem. He ran. Because remember, he had come to Shechem for the coronation. You understand? And so now, after this coronation, now he told the people this, send them away to their own land, their own houses, and then send the taxman to collect money. After he just abused them. The Bible says after they stoned this man, they both jump in the chariot, head back to Jerusalem. Run! See? Now hear what the scripture says. So Israel rebelled against the house of David unto this day. And it came to pass, when all Israel heard that Jeroboam was come again, which is the servant, remember Jeroboam, the servant that had run to Egypt. Then all Israel heard that Jeroboam was come again, and they sent and called him unto the congregation and made him king over all Israel. See the word of God coming to pass? Amen. Israel made him king. God said, I'm going to give you 10 tribes. That's the prophecy coming to pass. Amen. There was none that followed the house of David, but the tribe of Judah only. God said, I will leave one tribe with this. Isn't that right? And he left Judah with them. Hallelujah. Watch what he said. And when Rehoboam was come to Jerusalem, he assembled all the house of Judah with the tribe of Benjamin, and 180,000 chosen men which were warriors to fight against the house of Israel, to bring the kingdom again to Rehoboam, the son of Solomon. Now we know that Jeroboam is now king over Israel. So when he ran back to Jerusalem, he raised up his army of Judah, along with the Benjamites, to come back now to take the kingdom, take away back the kingdom of Israel, bring it back under the control of David, his father. Because this is truly my kingdom. He can't just come and take it. So after they beat him and he run, he now come and gather his army to come back and fight to take it back. But hear what God says. Thus the Lord, verse 23. Speak unto, but the word of the Lord, yes, but the word of God came unto Shemaiah, the man of God, this is another prophet now, saying, speak unto Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, king of Judah, and unto all the house of Judah and Benjamin, and to the remnant of the people, tell them, thus saith the Lord, you shall not go up to fight against your brethren, the children of Israel. Return every man to his house, for this thing is from me. God said, that's my word. That is being fulfilled. You understand? This is of me. Don't go fight them. They hearkened therefore to the word of the Lord, and return to depart according to the word of the Lord. Hallelujah. We're going to stop here for today. Oh my God. Hallelujah. I notice I'm starting to lose you, so praise the Lord. This is really good. Praise the Lord. I'm just having a great time with this. See, we need to know and understand that the entire Bible is dovetailed together. Amen. You can't take any scripture in isolation. It's always tied and connected to some other scripture. Now we started out in Habakkuk. Look where we come back. All the way back to the time of Solomon and David. To understand the connection why God gave Habakkuk that prophecy in the first place. And for us to understand how Habakkuk came to be in this position that he's in, we have to go back and understand what conditions were there that brought that vision to happen. Why God told him he's going to scatter them. So these are the things that we're getting to understand. That Habakkuk's vision did not happen in a vacuum. See? Didn't happen in a vacuum. It was a plan that was purpose years before. Next week, the Lord will be getting to say and see exactly where the prophecy that God made over 300 years before it came to pass under Josiah. Because of what? Solomon's disobedience. Hallelujah. Oh. God bless you, saints. Shall we worship? Praise be the Lord. Precious Heavenly Father, thank you for your wisdom and guidance of this great Holy Spirit that you promised would be here to guide us through into all truth. And now we can see the Word of God coming together so that we can truly appreciate the wisdom of God and see the prophecies that you spoke, Lord, concerning Israel and the rest of the world, how they fit into the grand scheme of your plan. Now we're getting to understand the truly mighty wisdom of Almighty God. Thank you, Father, for sharing these things with us. Things that you hid from the eyes of the wise and the prudent, and now you're revealing them unto us in this day. Yes. For this is the hour that we're made to understand thy truth, Lord, so that we can truly appreciate what you're doing for us. And to understand our lives and the way the world is going in this day. It's prophecies being made, being fulfilled in our day. Lord God, may our eyes be opened and our understanding be enlightened, that we can truly see and understand and appreciate the prophecies of old, the things that were spoken way back then, now seeing them fulfilled in our day. Yes. Lord, your word is being made known unto us. Help us to truly appreciate the favor that you have granted us, Lord Jesus. And now, Father, we commit all things unto thee. Yes. Take us home safe.